Shaping up to be a really warm, lovely day. I have picked a great day to have a day off with my daughter. Yes, it's a Friday, but one of the reasons we're travelling this year is to get the experience of doing school and work flexibly. So our working patterns are not normal. They're not routine. They're kind of all over the place. We work when we feel we should or when we want to and need to, and then we flex off and have some fun and play when the opportunity is here, like today. Jess is in year 8 in high school. She's enrolled in the normal government education system here in Australia, in New South Wales, and she's doing her year 8 curriculum, and it's being supported with through a distance education campus. So the teachers that are supporting Jess are dedicated to distance education. They're not trying to split their time between classrooms and the distance education students. It makes them accessible, helps them to focus on meeting the needs of the distance education students. Getting access to the distance education schooling option is one of the key drivers that led us to decide to travel this year. In all Australian states except for one, Queensland, you can only do distance education for schooling if you meet one of several criteria, fall into one of several categories. So for instance, elite sports people who are travelling, if you live too remote to go to a normal school, juveniles are in detention centres for delinquency and criminal activity, and travelling. So this is where we've ended up, travelling and doing distance ed. So I'm not Jessica's teacher, although I do provide some support if she needs it to help interpret things or with basic subject matter that I may be on top of. I'm her supervisor, which is dead easy for me because she's very organised, very self-motivated, is always on top of her work. So I'm about to do just about the only task I have to do every week, except when she may need a little bit of support to me, and that's scanning her maths work. So most of her work is done online through Moodle. It's videos and interactive PDFs, the bulk of it. But for maths, because you really need to show working out, and it's tricky to show a lot of your maths stuff or complete a lot of maths online, for instance these algebra equations, Jess gets booklets. We get them sent to us wherever we are, and she's able to fill in the booklets, and then I scan them and she uploads them to Moodle. In terms of other materials, like hard copy materials from the school, we've got a couple of books for her to use for English this term, which are from the library. We actually picked them up when we were in Canberra recently, but the school is happy to post us all these materials. Other hard copy materials, which we actually picked up when we went for orientation late last year, we've got this art kit, a stack of different types of piece of paper and things to paint with. Some is still packed in the envelope it came in, some we've kind of decanted and put into plastic bags that we carry around in a suitcase. Jess has also got different science kits. So this is a mini kit for the study of elements. She'll have a science experiment to do with some of this gear, and we're travelling with things like scales for, I think, measuring force. I'm not sure what the official name for that is, but anyway, beakers for science experiments, funnels and other bits and pieces. Plus, she's got her technology subject. This is a bench hook she made early in the year in technology. So all of the bits of wood, all of her school stuff and some of my office stuff, drawing equipment and so on, gets packed in this particular bag, which we call our office bag. I just realised if you're watching this on YouTube rather than Snapchat, you're not going to be able to swipe up to see Jessica's video.
We'll link it in the bio.
We will. We'll link it in the description, and I'll also post it as a comment on Twitter if you're looking at this on Twitter. Jess and I are about to go shopping for the day, so I'm actually not going to snap while we're shopping, but I just wanted to show you this street. This has got to be the worst street just about in Australia, I reckon, in terms of a sealed street, or supposedly sealed. I reckon it's only half sealed. Check out these potholes. Can you see this? This is just like a suburban street. It's not typical of Byron Bay, but I tell you, there are a lot of potholes around here. I think maybe because the It rains so much here, but nonetheless, this really needs cleaning up. Look, I know that the light's terrible at 6 p.m. at night and I'm sitting outside in the hammock. Stars are starting to come out behind me. Friday night, it's been a big week, lots of podcast recording. I did actually work this morning, early in the morning, around 2 a.m. for a few hours, preparing a webinar, follow-up webinar for the performance partnering program that's being delivered next week. My brain does funny things sometimes. If I've got a deadline looming and I'm asleep, sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night just so focused and ready to work towards that deadline. I just go with it. It was really nice to have today off and to end the week doing something with Jess in a beautiful location. So now what I'm going to do is just sit here in the silence. You'll hear a bit of road noise, maybe some noise from the neighbours, but lots of lovely evening insect